Hello everyone, my name is Jesse and this is The Auditorium. I react to video game music as a musician myself. And today is the return of Wild Arms. This is Wild Arms 5. I don't know if I've done 5 before, to be totally honest. I'll check in a bit. But I'm excited because Wild Arms is one of those games, one of those few games that I decided to play once I heard the soundtrack. I only played the first game and that was a great, fantastic time. These are requested by Turn Arclight and Mr. J Hound. We are going to be listening to A Muzzle Dancing in Hatred and Boy Meets a Girl and Arms. Apparently it's called Wild Arms 5, the 5th Vanguard. These are from the channels VV's Radio Backup Channel, Rare VGM, and IXEKUN. And I'm going to assume this is Michiko Naruke, but I don't know. We'll find out in a bit. Let's start off with A Muzzle Dancing in Hatred. Interesting title. Wild Arms 5, let's go. Oh. I just remember something. Oh, maybe this isn't Michiko Naruke. Has like that Mexico sound. I don't think I've done 5 before. I've done 4. Nope, this is my introduction to 5. Pretty sure. Okay, I went from Mexico to Spain. Oh, electronic elements? I just noticed the logo is shot up too, that's cool. Flutes? Little fusion, like flamenco. Flutes? Electronic percussion? Synthesizers? Ooh. Castanets. What the hell? What a blend of genre. Ah, the nylon. The drone note in the back, just holding that. It's all finger. Traditional nylon, like flamenco style, is just fingernails. PS2. I really like when flamenco is like confused with other genres that it's normally not associated with. I'll explain in a bit. Or instruments that usually don't appear. Nope, totally different composer. Oh, this must sound so cool in game. I'm just imagining like hearing this in game, like it just popping out of nowhere. That part specific has a technique. Once you hear it, you can't unhear it. That. It's called a abanico. Almost going from top to bottom. Or bottom string to top string. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it's one of the coolest video game songs I've heard in a long time. So it just has so many things that I like. Where do I start? Wild Arms. Okay, so here's my what I think of Wild Arms. First of all, great game, first game. Don't know how the rest of them are. Don't know how Ultra Code F is, but obviously they did well enough to at least have at least 5 games. So at first, when I heard the music, I really wanted to play because it's just, you know, it's so cool and Western. Oh yeah, I forgot we have another song to go. But once the game started, I realized it was just kind of like your normal like JRPG. It wasn't really Western themed at all. Some of the outfits maybe, but you know, it really wasn't. Just the music. But I've heard from many people, even during the gameplay, they're like, "Oh, well, that's just this game. The future games, you know, dive into that a little more." And from the sounds of it, it sounds like, yeah, that might be the case. I don't know if they've always stuck with it or if they just got more and more and more into it. But now it sounds like they're just full on embracing it, type of thing. But that was, yeah, that was okay. So the composer was Masato Kuda and Noriyasu Agumatsu. Don't recognize those names. This was in 2006. No, well, 2006 in Japan, 2007 here, and then EU a year later after that. So 2-year span of a release. That was. I mean, it was so many things. Let's talk about the flamenco elements that I just know I can talk about. So it had a lot of what's the term I'm looking for here? It had a lot of quintessential flamenco elements that give it that sound. First of all, number one, the most defining thing is the nylon guitar. Those plasticky strings, nylon strings. It's finger played, so you can hear that slightly more expressive style. The techniques that were used were common in a lot of flamenco stuff, so dun 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 dun. That style of strumming. There was the every now and then you'll hear an upstroke, so like just sort of sounds like a sound effect almost that you can expect. That's just a held chord, but instead of, you know, typically in guitar playing, you strum down, right? Of course you do down, up, but I mean, but going specifically from down to up is mostly associated with like flamenco stuff. And then you had the picado technique, which is just when it was just like the drony note and it was doing like the kind of like a solo, like a slow solo thing. That was picado. And then the other one was abanico, which is Spanish for fan. And that's when it was going dun, 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 dun. Instead of just like a single stroke of like dun, the fan part is your fingers fanning out. So it's like pinky, ring, middle, index. It's like dun, 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 dun. Once you hear that once, you'll never not hear it. So it's all there, right? But on top of that, traditional flamenco is just it's just a nylon guitar, maybe some foot taps from the dancer, or sometimes you'll see like a cajon player. But that's kind of like what makes video game music so cool, is that you can experiment on just random stuff like that. Now, I'm not saying it's not correct or proper or anything. I don't, I think I love combining genres like that, but it's not often you hear electronic stuff or percussions or violins or flutes alongside with it. It's cool, It's really, really cool. It's has its own unique flavor to it, and it's really immersive, right? I totally can see like this image going alongside with that song. It's got the sunset, and it's got what it looks like a poncho, and it's just, yeah, dude, that was super cool. I have no idea what the song title is referring to. A muzzle dancing in hatred, like a gun muzzle. I don't know. And I also thought it was kind of interesting that, or I should say, I wonder why the original composer didn't return, or if she was doing something else. Either way, we have another song to hear, and it's a lot shorter. It's about half. Boy Meets a Girl and Arms. I wonder if that's also Rudy. Looks kind of like him. Oh god. Look at the way the 5th Vanguard is spelled. It's got the Roman numeral, or the, it's like the Vth Vanguard. Okay. This is Boy Meets a Girl and Arms from Wild Arms 5. Let's go. Piano. Acoustic guitar this time, not nylon, acoustic. Perfect length of that song. The song gave me two resounding feelings. First of all, the title of the song to me hinted at like character introduction, right? And then the beginning of the song really felt that way. It felt like when you walk into a character and they're like, hey, my name is blah, blah, blah. I'm going to join your party. And then a song would start. It really felt like that to me. It felt like this is their theme or this is their introduction. Hey, you know, whatever. It's got that lively, upbeat thing. And then after that, it just turned into like, whoa. It sort of sounded like a battle theme too, you know. But truly, after that, I just stopped caring, trying to guess or whatever. I just was just hearing the song. And in a very similar fashion to the first song that we just heard, again, we're hearing stuff that is normally not heard together at all. And this time, the big one was the whistle with percussions and other instruments around it. We have to go back in time a little bit. Actually, let's stay here for just a second. First of all, these composers did a great job. They had big shoes to fill with Michiko Naruke, who also had big shoes to fill because of Ennio Morricone, the pretty much creator of this style. So that's a lot of inspiration. You got the main Italian guy, my favorite composer, Michiko Naruke, making a soundtrack based off of his work and doing an excellent job. And then that torch being passed on to these two composers who took that formula and also made it their own too. So as far as I'm concerned, there's only like one, well, there's more now, but the guy who like created that whistle as an instrument and who made that popular also worked hand in hand with Ennio Morricone, and that's Alessandro Alessandroni. He's probably the most famous whistle in the world, you know, or was. I'm pretty sure he's passed, but you know, he created that like Western sound. Also did the guitar too, so like he did both. But that whistle was always associated with like just a nylon guitar, an acoustic guitar, maybe some strings. Really, that's it. Like there was not a whole lot of percussive stuff going on. This song was the first time in my life that I heard a sort of energetic song with a whistle. And it gave it like a whole new life to it. You know, it's not every day you hear new things with your ears. It's quite rare, actually. And sometimes it just makes you think like, oh yeah, why didn't I think of that? Or surely I've heard that before, or maybe not. Maybe this was also your first time hearing something like that. It's one of those things where you swore I've heard something like that before, but probably not. You know, it's first of all, how often do you hear whistles in any song, let alone video game songs, and especially with a percussive sound underneath it with guitars and strings? You know, it's just like, that was cool. And then this one emphasized more on the acoustic guitar. So if you were ever confused between the nylon guitar and the acoustic, these two songs are a perfect yin and yang. The nylon guitar, also known as the classical guitar or the flamenco guitar, they look identical. They're just big wooden guitar bodies, but once you see what they look like next to each other, like, you'll be able to tell the difference right away. But the sound, the first one was all nylon, this one was all acoustic. You can hear the strings, they're being strummed with a pick, and it's just a lot more chimey, dun 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 dun, you know. Whereas the nylon is strummed as well, but usually more of a lead thing, and you can hear like individual notes. But they're both used interchangeably. That was just a great time, dude. Wild Arms is, I think, I don't know. It's just, to me, out of many games that I've heard on this channel, so many games, so many songs, Wild Arms continues to just be so good. And consistently, apparently, because they're into the 5th. And I'm pretty sure this is the first time I do the 5th. I've heard 4, I've heard 3, 2, and 1. Mostly 1. Yeah, for sure, mostly 1. Some 2. I think I might have started with 3. And then even in 4, I heard some really cool stuff. It was like, what was that one song? It was like Nightless City something. That song still sticks with me. And that one didn't even have any, or if I recall, it's been a while, but when I heard that Nightless City song, that blew me away. And I don't think that had like any Western elements to it at all. I think. It sounded more like 1940s kind of like Frank Sinatra type stuff or something. Anyways, Wild Arms music is amazing, and I'm glad that it has a fan base. And to me, it seems kind of like an underrated series, even though it's done somewhat well. And I'm just glad that they gave any attention to like spaghetti western media besides movies, because I really love those movies, man. They don't make them anymore, and they're just a great moment in time, and they only get better with age. Truly, you know, it's really cool. I can't believe Clint Eastwood is still with us as I'm recording this. He's like, you know, in his 90s, and you know, he was a star of these. He was already like 40 or something during those, or late 30s and during the 60s and stuff. I don't know. Let me know about the 5th Vanguard. Is it a good game? I don't know. Tell me whatever you want to know. But damn, that was sick. Boy meets a girl and arms. Just by the sound of that, it's probably like early game. But truly, I have no idea. Could be a character intro or a battle theme. But man, that was cool. Damn. Both 2 times I heard back-to-back sounds I haven't really heard together. So that's already a unique video. Thank you to Turner Arclight and Mr. J Hound. If you wanted to see my playthrough of Wild Arms 1, by the way, it's right here. You'll see it over there. That was a good time. I renamed all my magic. That was one of my highlights. I remember renaming all my magic to like RPG characters, which are characters that I all found out through this channel, so it kind of was like a full circle moment. Anyways, thank you to my patrons. I couldn't be here without them. Thanks to you for watching. My name is Jesse in the auditorium later.